Hey everyone, welcome to our tutorial. This one is on how to write an argumentative essay. First off, the topics. We'll be investigating what an essay is and how to write an essay. Well, what is an essay? An essay is a piece of text which is brief, it's non-fictional, and it describes, clarify, argue, or analyze a subject. And you usually include your point of view. Its purpose is to investigate an issue or a topic, and we'll be focusing on argumentative essays. There are different kinds of essays, but mostly we'll be writing argumentative essays in our classes. They provide the audience with a well-rounded summary of the issue at hand. So the reader, your interlocutor, will be reading your opinions on a given issue, and you will, as a writer, clarify clearly what the topic is about, what the issue is about, and you will clarify your point of view, your standpoint, and try to convince the reader that your point of view is better than other people's point of view. So in order to make it clear, what I have here for you is the picture of a hamburger, so that you can have a picture of what the structure of an essay is. Usually, you start with an introduction, then you go for the body. The body consists of 3 paragraphs. This is not mandatory, right? But will be, at least our first essays will be like that. So the first paragraph of the body, you will talk about the first argument for your point of view. Then you move on to the second paragraph, where you will bring another argument for your point of view, and then finally a counter argument, which will be 1 point against your point of view. And then the conclusion. Mind you, many people say that the conclusion has to do with the introduction. Yes, it does, but you are not going to rewrite the whole introduction just using other words, okay? We'll be talking a little bit about that further on. Well, first of all, create a catchy title. Titles are not 100% mandatory, but if you have a good one, why not? So in order to write a title, and by the way, that doesn't have to be the first thing you will do. At least me, I usually write titles after everything is written, so that it's a bit easier for me to have a whole idea of everything I talked about. But you will have to read carefully the instructions for the essay, and from the instructions you are going to create your whole ideas. The titles, they are a very good opportunity to hook your reader. What does it mean? You have to, you will hook their attention, you will grab their attention, so they will feel like reading. And it acts as a preview for what your paper will be about. Right after the title, you are going to come up with a thesis statement. What does it mean? Take a look at this thesis statement. It's a very good one. Excessive meat consumption in America is the leading cause of pollution today, and thus is a significant influence on global warming. What is a thesis statement? It comes up with a concise idea that sums up your view on the issue. So the issue here in this case is about meat consumption in the US, and you see that it has a claim. Thesis statements, they make a claim of some sort. A claim of value, a claim of definition, a claim of cause and effect, or a claim about policy solutions. As you see, this thesis statement about meat consumption is on cause and effect. As you can see, take a look. The effect is pollution, and the cause of pollution is meat consumption, actually excessive meat consumption, right? And ultimately, pollution causes global warming. All right? Then, after the thesis statement, you are going to start writing your introduction. And here you should briefly explain the essay topic and include relevant background information to familiarize the reader with the topic. Your thesis statement should appear at the end of the introduction. Then, write the body of the paper. You will present information that supports both your argument and opposition. You will acknowledge evidence that supports the opposition, but make use of powerful evidence to assert your claim. You have a claim. Remember the one in the thesis statement about excessive meat consumption. So, when writing the body of the paper for that thesis statement, the writer would have to assert, make use of powerful evidence that their claim is the right one. So here I have for you an essay question as an example. The question is, why study history? So remember at the beginning I told you would have to read the instructions. So take a look at the question. From this question, you're going to create everything: thesis statement, title, body. So analyze separately the words, the phrases of the instructions. So for example, here we have why. So throughout your essay, if you were writing about why study history, you would have to give a reason. You would also have to focus on the subject. So try not to, get sidetracked, get lost, and start talking about anything else which is not clearly stated in the instructions. And of course, you would have to add your own voice. Although you would bring arguments, you probably, I don't know, if you want, you can add statistics, quotes, but then your own voice has to be in the essay. 300, 500 words. Remember that you have to stick to the minimum and maximum number of words. There are different methods to help you write an essay. And the best one, as I see, and easiest, is the spidergram. First of all, to come up with a spidergram, decide on your opinion. Why study history? So you would have to think what your opinion is about it. So decide if you were for or against it. Do some brainstorming. So by brainstorming, let yourself be bombarded by ideas, okay? So history. Think about it. Do you enjoy studying history? Do you think there's any value in studying history? So let yourself, give some thought, take notes, and organize your ideas like this. So you put the central question in the middle of a piece of paper, and then whatever comes up, take notes. So create these arrows. Create these arrows here, right? And start annotating whatever comes up. no matter if it's for or against. So free yourself. Then you are going to start choosing the main ideas, the best ideas for each of your body paragraphs. So first off, you let yourself, be immersed in this ocean of ideas. Then you are going to choose the ones which are the strongest arguments, the ones which are more irrefutable, the ones that people would have fewer arguments against. So for example, topic sentence 1, history helps us to understand people and societies. It's quite hard to go against this topic. Then topic sentence 2, the study of history provides people with a sense of identity. And finally, the counterpoint, the counter-argument. The knowledge history has provided and its status in society has changed. So each of these sentences will be topic sentences for your paragraphs. Then, after developing the body, you're going to come up with a conclusion. Conclusions reassert your argument and persuade the audience to support your claim. So it's your final chance to convince the reader that you have a good point. As I told you before, make sure not to introduce any new information in the conclusion so that you wrap up what you've already said. You are not going to say the same things, but you are going to say something like, as I stated before, these arguments assert the claim that studying history is essential for the development of society nowadays, for example. Well, so that's it. Summarizing what we have said so far. So step 1, create a catchy title. Again, you don't have to do it first. Step 2, create a thesis statement. Very important. Then you write the introduction. Then you write the body with your standpoint and arguments for and against the question. Step 5, write a conclusion. And the ultimate tip, write a 5-paragraph essay. Remember the hamburger, the picture of the hamburger. It will be quite easy for you to remember. So that's it. We've talked about what an essay is and how to write an essay. If you have any questions, doubts, please let me know. Bibliography, if you want, you can take further reading. Just click on these links and you have access to all the material that I have compiled. Thank you. Bye-bye.